Hey everyone, welcome back to Mindful Athlete. This video is going to be for the NWSL fans, especially if you've been watching this season. And the video was entirely inspired by this one tweet by Douglas Reyes-Saran from a couple of weeks ago when he said, "Saying again, but an NWSL All-Stars versus US Women National Team game would rip one day." Now, this was posted during the WNBA All-Star Weekend, where they have a game that involves the U.S. women's basketball team playing the WNBA All-Stars. And so when I saw this tweet, I thought to myself, what would an NWSL All-Star team look like this year? In this video, I'm going to be naming my pick of players for the NWSL All-Star team based on this season so far. So let's just get straight into it. Now, as a reminder, the NWSL has been on a break for the Olympics. So up until this point, there's been 16 games played. So my All-Star team is going to be based on the performances over these past 16 games. Now, of course, before I can pick my All-Star team, I need to know which players I can't pick because they're part of the U.S. Women's National Team. And so the easiest roster squad to use as a reference is the current Olympics roster, which is here. So of course, there were 22 players that were named to the Olympic roster, with 18 who were part of the main team and then 4 who were named as alternates. So for the purposes of my video, the 4 alternates will also not be available for me to select on the All-Star team. Now, of the 22 players, 19 play in the NWSL, with the 3 that play overseas being Emily Fox, Lindsey Horan, and Corbin Albert. But apart from those 3 players, all the other 19 are going to be unavailable for me to select on the NWSL All-Star team. Now, for my All-Star team, I went with a squad size of 18 players. And the number of players I picked per position is matched with the number of players per position for the Olympics roster. So for my All-Star team, I'll go with 6 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 6 forwards, just to keep things simple. Okay, enough of setting the parameters. Let's just get started. So with my first pick in the goalkeeper position, this was an easy one for me. I went with Ann-Katrin Berger from Gotham FC. Now for me, AKB has been the best goalkeeper this season in the NWSL. She actually joined a little bit late because of course she was playing with Chelsea. She's only played 12 games this season, but ever since she arrived in the NWSL, she's been playing for Gotham every single game. And in those 12 games, she's only let in 9 goals, which is the least amount let in so far. And she's got a save percentage of 83%, which is second best in the league. AKB is also top 10 in clean sheets this season with 4 so far. So again, this was a really easy pick for me to go with. Okay, so the second goalkeeper that I'm going to be picking for the NWSL All-Star team was another easy one, and that is Anna Morehouse. So Anna Morehouse is the goalkeeper for Orlando Pride. Not only is Orlando Pride the #1 team in the league, but they also have given up the least amount of goals this season, and Anna Morehouse has been the goalie for all 16 games. Anna Morehouse has a save percentage this season of 83.3%, which is the best in the league and slightly above AKB. She's also #1 in the league in clean sheets with 7 so far this season. Now, Anna's good play has been rewarded this season. She actually ended up getting a call up to the Lionesses a couple of months ago, right before the Olympics, which just goes to show how strong of a season she's been having so far. So next, I'll be moving on to the defenders, and starting off will be none other than Sam Staub in the center back position. Now, Sam has been one of the top defenders in the NWSL for several years now. She's top amongst center backs in shot creating actions. She's also in the top percentile in clearances in aerials 1. When it comes to clearances, she's actually had 101 so far this season, which is good enough to put her second best in the league. And even as a center back, she also happens to have a goal and 2 assists so far, which isn't too bad. Keeping with the center backs, I decided to go with Kylie Strom from the Orlando Pride. Now, Kylie is steady, consistent. She's only missed 1 game this season, and it happened to come from a red card, unfortunately, in the first game. But apart from that, she's played full 90s, started in all of the other games so far. Now, as I mentioned with Anna Morehouse, Orlando has given up the least amount of goals so far this season with 12, and Kylie Strom has played a big role in that in the center back position. She's among the top CBs also in progressive carries, take-ons, tackles, and interceptions. So with the best defensive team in the league, I definitely had to go with the center back that's played in every game so far, except the one. Next, sticking with Orlando, I'm going with Carrie Abello in the left back position. I've actually been a really big fan of Carrie Abello for a few years now. I love how confident she is to make those runs down the wings. It's like a striker's dream when she's able to run up those wings and send the cross in. She's aggressive, makes good runs. And just when it comes to comparing her with other fullbacks in the league, she's one of the best in progressive carries, take-ons, tackles, and shots. So that was my 5th pick for the NWSL All-Star team, Carrie Abello. Okay, moving on to the next position, we got Marie Mueller from Portland Thorns. And Marie is new to the NWSL this season after playing her entire career with Freiburg in the Bundesliga. And so it's been all the more impressive how good she's been so far this season in her first year in the league. She's got 88 tackles and interceptions this season, which makes her number 1 amongst all defenders. She's also got 27 blocks, which makes her 3rd amongst the list of defenders. In the 80th percentile in tackles, blocks, interceptions, and progressive passes and carries. She's also quite comfortable playing in the wingback position, not just fullback, which helps with versatility if you want to try out different lineups. So my next defender is going to be Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is another fullback. She plays in the right side position for the North Carolina Courage. Now, Ryan is a really great story. She's been in the league since I think 2018 when she was drafted by the Courage, and she's really worked her way up from being someone who was on the bench as a sub to now being a consistent starter on NC Courage. She's got highest percentiles in passing, carries, progressive passes, as well as shot creating actions from live ball passes. And her defensive stats are not that bad, to be fair. Particularly, she's quite strong in the tackling department. So Ryan Williams, for me, was the other fullback that I was going to be picking for this NWSL All-Star team. Okay, and then rounding out the last defender that I'm selecting, and I had to go with Madison Curry. I love this pick because she's a rookie. Despite Angel City struggling a little bit, she's been a bright spot on the team so far. She's the number 2 defender in the league in tackles and interceptions with 77. Her tackles, blocks, and interceptions are all in the 96 plus percentile amongst fullbacks and the 99th percentile amongst center backs. So clearly she's got some really good defensive stats. And Madison can play both the center back and the fullback position. So similar to Marie Mueller, she's able to provide a lot of versatility. So that was my last defender for the NWSL All-Star team, Madison Curry. So moving on to the midfield position. So starting off with my first pick is Claire Hutton. Now, if you guys saw my Kansas City video, then this pick shouldn't be a surprise to you. I absolutely love Claire Hutton. She's one of my favorite players this season. She's a rookie. She only turned 18 in January. And quite honestly, she's been the best defensive midfielder all season in the NWSL. Now, Claire has 82 tackles and interception, which puts her 4th best in the entire league across all positions. Now, as I mentioned in my Kansas City video, what I love about Claire is her calmness on the ball. She never panics, even when it looks like she's in tight spaces. She's able to dribble out of it. She's quite comfortable and confident with her feet. She's also got good vision and awareness on the pitch, able to pick out cross-field passes, switches, and of course through balls to the strikers. In addition, Claire is also top percentiles in shot creating and goal creating actions, which is really important when you're playing with someone like Temwa Chewinga up top. So this was an easy one. Claire Hutton's my first pick for midfielders. Now next, the second defensive midfielder that I decided to go with was Taylor Flint from Racing Louisville. Now, previously known as Taylor Korniak, Taylor Flint, just looking at the stats, was a really easy choice to make. She's number 1 in the league in tackles, number 1 in the league in interceptions, and number 2 in the league in blocks. Louisville is one of the top defensive teams this season, and no doubt Taylor has played a key role in that defensive midfielder position. For her tackles and interceptions, she's got 122 so far this season. The next best is 88 for Marie Mueller. So that just shows how dominant Taylor Flint has been in that defensive midfield role. So for me, Taylor Flint had to be my second defensive midfielder for this All-Star team. Okay, so moving on to my pick for an attacking midfielder, I decided to go with Ashley Sanchez on this. Her stats this season haven't been outstanding, but you know, when it's an All-Star game, sometimes you gotta just make some fun picks, even if their stats aren't necessarily better than some other players. And I had to go with Ashley Sanchez. To be fair, this season, she's got 4 goals, 3 assists so far, which puts her top 10 in goals and assists. She's also top 10 in progressive runs. She's a really good passer as well and really likes to pass. Her passing statistics are all in the green when it comes to the top percentiles. So when it comes to attacking midfielder picks, especially considering there are players on the U.S. women's national team that I can't pick for the All-Star team, I'd say Ashley Sanchez is a really strong one and a really good one for this season. Lastly, my last midfielder on this All-Star team is another attacking one, and it is Vanessa Di Bernardo. Now, Vanessa's a really interesting one because I actually was kind of torn between Vanessa and Lola Bonta. They both play in that central midfielder position for Kansas City Current, which is obviously the second best team so far this season. But ultimately, I decided to go with Vanessa Di Bernardo just because her stats are a bit better than Lola Bonta, and she's played significantly less minutes as well. So in just 795 minutes so far this season, Vanessa Di Bernardo already has 4 goals and 5 assists. So yeah, again, Vanessa Di Bernardo, not a difficult decision to make. I knew I wanted another midfielder from Kansas City Current because I think their midfield has been really good. And so I'm pretty happy with picking Vanessa Di Bernardo. So finally, I'm at the last position for this All-Star team, and that is the forward position. And so with my first pick, come on guys, this is a really easy one. I had to go with Barbara Banda. She's the most informed striker in the world right now, in my opinion. I mean, she just got a first half hat trick against Australia the other day. She's unstoppable. She's got 12 goals so far this season in 12 games. Total, she's got 17 goals plus assists, and she leads the team in both of those stats. She's also got 59 shots, 31 of those on target. She's really a dominant striker. Every team would want to have someone like her in that number 9 position. My next forward selection was also a very easy one, and that was Temwa Chawinga. She is the forward for Kansas City Current, also on fire, unstoppable. She's got 12 goals as well, also has 17 goals and assists, literally identical stats to Barbara Banda. However, she's played more games than Banda, so that's why I kind of put Banda a bit above Temwa Chawinga right now. But nonetheless, Chawinga's also got a lot of shots, very dominant, 71, 38 on target. She's been absolutely crucial to Kansas City's success so far. I will say Chawinga looks better when she's playing next to Bia. They had a really good partnership going. It's a little bit tougher for her without Bia out there, but nonetheless, she's still very good and very crucial to what Kansas City has been able to accomplish so far this season. Okay, my third forward is going to be Ule Sar. Now, she plays for the Washington Spirit. She's got 7 goals so far, which is tied for 3rd best in the league. In total, she's got 9 goals and assists, and she's in the 84th percentile in shot creating actions. Obviously, Ule Sar is really important for Washington Spirit and has a nice partnership developing with Trinity Rodman in that attacking position. And then, of course, Croy Bethune, who's tucked in behind. That attacking line of Washington Spirit is probably one of the most exciting in the league, and Ule Sar definitely plays a big role in that. Next, I gotta go with the one and only legend, Marta. And this was just an easy choice. Even regardless of her, whether she's a legend or not, her stats are also really good this season. She's got 5 goals so far, which is tied for 5th. And Marta has always been good at dribbling and attacking at players. She's in the 89th percentile of take-ons, also in pass completion and shot creating actions. At her age, honestly, I think she's 38 now. It's incredible what she's still able to do out there. So many times when I watch Orlando play, I can confidently say she looks like the best one out there a lot of the times. She doesn't seem to be slowing down one bit. And for an all-star team, you have to have someone like Marta out there. So exciting to watch. So that was an easy pick for me. Next, I'm picking her Brazilian teammate, who plays for the Kansas City Current, and that is Bia Zanerato. Now, Beatrice, unfortunately, has dealt with a lot of injuries this season with her foot. She was still able to play at least 10 games, which is why I decided to pick her for this team. As I mentioned before, the start of the season, her partnership with Temwa Chawinga was incredible. The two of them actually played together in China, so it totally makes sense why they have that good relationship. They really made Kansas City look unstoppable in the attack. Now, despite Temwa Chawinga's great stats, Bia's been pretty good as well, even though she's played less minutes. So she's got 5 goals so far, which is tied for 5th. She's also got 4 assists. She's in the top, which is the top percentile in assists for forwards. She's also tops in the leagues in shot creating action, passes, take-ons, and tackles. And as I mentioned before, the way Kansas City plays with that aggressive style to win balls back, her ability to be in the top percentile in tackles is crucial to facilitating Kansas City's style of play. Okay, so we finally made it to my last pick of the All-Star team, and that pick is going to be going to Ella Stevens of Gotham FC. I've loved watching Ella Stevens this season. I did watch a bit of her for Chicago, and when she signed with Gotham, to be honest, I didn't think much of it, but she's been incredible this season. Absolutely one of the signings of the season. She's got 5 goals, 3 assists, which maybe doesn't sound that impressive until you find out she's only played 653 minutes so far this season. In her first 3 games, she averaged less than 20 minutes a game. So she's played significantly less minutes than everyone else. By comparison, Temwa Chwenga has played 1,352 minutes. So Ella Stevens has played less than half, and she's got 5 goals, 3 assists. She's got 16 shots, 7 on target, 71% goals to shot on target percentage, which is actually top in the league. So basically, if she can get her shot on target, there's a good chance it's going to go in. So this one for me, I love this pick. Even without seeing the stats, I knew Ella Stevens had to be picked for this roster. Well, there you have it. That's my 18 players for an NWSL All-Star team. I think it's a pretty good roster. In terms of who I would start for the All-Star game, well, for the Olympics so far, Emma Hayes has gone with the same lineup for all 3 group stage games, which is a 4-1-2-3, which I have put up here. So I think for the All-Star team, I'd go with a 3-5-2 with AKB in net, Staub, Strom, and Abello playing in that 3 center back position. I'd have Madison Curry and Marie Mueller in the wing back position, who can also drop back and play full backs, essentially in a back 5 when the U.S. Women's National Team are on the attack. In the midfield, I'd have Hutton as that defensive midfielder paired with DiBernardo and Marta in the attacking position. And then, of course, up top, Chwenga and Barbara Banda. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good lineup that would match up pretty well versus the U.S. Women's National Team, and I think they could actually cause some trouble. But anyways, if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching my video. If you've been paying attention to the NWSL so far and have your own thoughts on what an NWSL All-Star team would look like this season, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know if you agree with my picks or if there's any players you think I missed or would be on your team. Also let me know. Very curious to hear about that. But again, thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the next video.